Yo, Bayn, you there?
I am here.
All right, so we're not officially starting right now because my co-host Rob is still outside smoking a cigarette. But we were just watching. I was showing our intern, the Lamborghini, some of your videos, and we think your rap is amazing. And he wants to challenge you to a beard growing competition.
Yeah, let's see whose beard will get the longest
in the next year.
Well, lucky for you, I actually just shaved mine off, so you might have a head start on me.
Oh,
really?
man.
What made you shave your beard off?
Man, I'm a little weird. Like, if something starts bothering me on my skin, I immediately get rid of it, and my beard, like, one day just randomly started getting super itchy.
Dude, mine does that. Mine does that all the time.
Even after it was grown out, like we were watching some of your videos, and you had a big length there. Like even at that length, it was itchy.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I thought maybe because I have a pretty dirty job, like my real job, and I thought maybe I got beard lice or something like that. I'm getting rid of this. Like I deal with like a lot of medical linen and stuff like that, and so I was like, I'm just gonna get rid of this. Maybe just start over.
Yeah. Are you upset that you don't have your beard anymore?
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, we have Rob is sitting down right now and he has no clue what's going on. So,
you lost your beard?
So what happened is I started talking to Bayn because I was showing Slambo some of Bayn's music videos, and Slambo was like, I should challenge Bayn to a beard growing competition. And Bayn has recently shaved his beard off because it started getting itchy.
I could chop it down.
So Bayn, mine gets itchy. Like I try to keep it at, like, I have a beard trimmer, so I trim it to a 1, so I keep it as light as I possibly can.
Light as a feather.
But once it does start getting long, it starts getting itchy. But I thought that, like, at your length that you would have passed that itchy phase. So I'm guessing it goes from not itchy to itchy to not itchy to itchy again.
Wow.
Because it's like having hair on your head. Like, it's the same problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and there's some days, man, where it's like it's fine, but then out of nowhere, randomly, it'll just like start itching, and then it just won't stop. And so this day it just drove me past the point. I was like, I'm done.
I did that too. I was growing it out for a while, and I would have to trim it down, or it would just be a problem. Just a problem.
Yeah.
Bayn, what is may I ask what your first name is?
Do what?
May I ask what your first name is?
My real first name is Jared.
Okay.
Yeah. Not to be confused with the creepo from Subway.
I was gonna say, like, I understand why you call yourself Bayn.
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense.
I would go with anything.
I don't really like to go by that, except for like at my real job. But just because of the I always get that joke, like, oh, like the guy from Subway, and now it's like the wrong context to be associated with that.
Yeah. You don't want to be associated with that.
You'd rather be like, I'm like Tom Hardy from Batman.
Exactly. I want to be associated with like badasses like that.
May I ask what your 9 to 5 is?
It's a linen company, so it's called Superior Linen, and it's basically just like I go to restaurant and like pick up dirty bags, and then I also will go to like medical places and pick up their dirty bags and leave them clean stuff. To use.
That's what I was figuring when you said that. That's cool. How long have you been doing the rap thing for?
I'm sorry?
How long have you been rapping for?
Man, I've been rapping, I think, I don't really remember. I think it's been 7 years now. Not too long. I've been doing music since I was maybe like 18.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess, not to show my age, but about like 14 years now I've been doing music.
Because I figured you'd be the dude I'd be hanging out with at like a buddy's house, just throwing beer back, and you would just be like freestyling, just making us laugh.
Seemed that way.
Yeah, like because I did have friends like that. They would just be rapping about the Nintendo 64 game you'd be playing, and just saying some crazy
Right.
shit. Crazy shit.
So before rap, what was it then? What
was
got
it
you into
rock,
music?
or what was it?
I was in a, believe it or not, a heavy metal band, and then right after that I was in like it was a rock band, but I was the vocalist and I did like spoken word almost over the rock music. It was really a weird time. But yeah, we were like, but that first band that was like heavy metal, it was like the all screaming, death metal type stuff, that you like, so yeah, fun stuff, man. I've done,
like that.
feel like I've done it all.
So like the Cradle of Filth type of shit,
That's black.
Yes.
like the black metal,
The
yeah.
black metal stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do like that stuff.
Yeah.
Big fan. Of
What
it.
Yeah.
got you into rap then?
Well, after both bands fell through, I was still really wanting to do music,
Something
and
creative.
I can't sing at all. So like I was like, well, I can at least talk. So and I was a big fan of rap growing up. So I was like, I guess I'll just start rapping. So I found some beats and then just had my go at it, and it seemed to work out halfway decent.
That's all. Yeah, no. It seems like you have a natural talent for it because, like, I was listening to some of your stuff on break, and I was listening to some of your stuff before break, and I'm like, kind of moving along to it. I'm like, man, this is really catchy. Like, this is really good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I just figured you always had it flowing through you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. That's nice.
And we interviewed a few weeks ago. We had Brian Breaker on. I was going to ask too, and I know I asked him, but I drink a lot. How did you guys meet? How did you guys first connect?
Well, we actually went to school together. So we were in junior high and high school together, and we met in 7th grade. And Breaker has a better memory than I do, even though he's taken a lot more chair shots to the head. And
yes.
but he probably knows the class. I don't, but I remember that we were in the 7th grade, and then I had mentioned something about a Legion of Doom shirt he had on, and then
that's
we
right.
we bonded over pro wrestling.
That's right. He did say that. He said that. And have you ever done any wrestling or anything like that?
I managed Breaker for about maybe 3 months, but I only did like 2 or 3 shows with him, and then I tried my hand at pro wrestling, and that is a hell of a lot harder than it looks.
Dude, I did
I lasted about 2 months and I was done.
I did a backyard wrestling video with my buddies back in the day, and dude, it is exhausting and it hurts. You're sore for like a week, and I was in my 20s, bro. I wasn't not that I was ripped or nothing, but I was like, I'm never doing that again. Like, fuck, that was rough.
Bayn, how do you manage a pro wrestler?
I was gonna say,
never.
I was gonna say you could be a manager at least. Like, if you didn't wrestle, like you could at least manage Brian. But you already tried that.
Yeah, I tried that, and the thing is like, as a manager, you're more or less just like an accessory.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yes.
Like, so you don't really do anything.
So
really,
he messed it up.
unless you're the mouthpiece
Brian's
for the
fault.
guy.
It's Brian's fault. You're not.
But like, unless you're like the mouthpiece for the guy, I mean, you don't really need to be there. And so Breaker can talk for himself.
Yeah.
He's actually he's pretty good on the mic, so he doesn't really need a mouthpiece. So
yeah, that was like Paul Bearer. Like Paul Bearer, I'm like, why does he need to be there? But yeah, Kane doesn't talk.
Right.
Like, yeah, I get it.
Right. Yeah.
And I did. I
That was
love the
perfect.
Paul Bearer. Who is one of your favorite wrestlers, Bayn?
Oh man, see, I grew up obviously in the main part of my childhood would be your Hulk Hogan's and Ultimate Warriors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
What about Macho Man?
Yeah.
Macho Man, obviously.
Fucking
Dude, for me,
Roddy Piper.
Yeah,
Bane,
Roddy
I'm
Piper.
30, so I think you're around the same age as me.
Roddy
Like
Piper.
Goldberg was
Yes.
mine, like WCW Goldberg.
I wanted to ask.
man.
This is going forward. This is going all over the place. But I know you collect collectibles, Bane. And do you remember Gilbert? Do you remember when WWF made their version of Goldberg? They had a guy named Gilbert. And he came out with he came out with sparklers, and his like, you know, the catchphrase was like, who's first? Like, who's the first guy I'm gonna be? Because Goldberg's was who's next. Gilbert's was who's first. And I have
Any of this.
I have an autographed T-shirt of Gilbert in my closet at home right now. Yeah,
That is fantastic. I love Gilbert way more than I love Goldberg. Gilbert was like my hero because he was like the underdog
yeah.
who like never actually won.
He never won. He stunk. He was just hired to stink.
Goldberg.
Did him and Goldberg ever get to fight?
I don't think
because
so.
of
I don't think so.
It was like Gilbert was just like the rip-off, like WWF.
It was them
like-
saying, "Yeah, you're a piece of shit, Ted Turner."
Yeah.
We got it.
What about Rikishi, the stinky
Oh,
face?
dude, that's another thing I want to bring
Yeah.
up too. My middle son William, he recently got into WWE, and he knows. Like,
Okay.
I don't know if Rikishi still wrestles, but he knows. Like, I asked him, "Do you know
his
Rikishi?"
son.
He knows Rikishi. He knows like The Rock's dad was a wrestler. My son knows everything. I'm
Wow.
like, what did you?
That's
what
the
made-
internet, right? That
Yes.
YouTube loop?
Yeah.
What
Like,
did you
yeah.
plug into,
Yeah.
dude? That like he's answering my questions.
Yeah, because you can
I'm like,
watch. These kids can watch all the old shit.
That's
from, like,
it.
Back in the day now.
Yeah, dude, he does.
That is so weird because, like, back in the day, like, we had to stay up late to watch
We had to
wrestling.
wait for
Yeah.
Wednesday
Where, like,
or
these
Monday.
kids are like, I want to
Yes.
see The Undertaker fight this guy back in 90.
I want Hell in a Cell.
Six.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, and that kid's got it. Yeah, those kids are. I hate kids. They're so smart and lucky and savvy.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, but it was so cool. I'm like, yeah, you know, and he knew Dwayne Johnson. Like, this is a 9-year-old. Like, and he knew, he knew his real name. He knew his dad's name, and like, Aaron, like, wow, dude.
Bane, you have kids, right?
Yeah, I got 2 of them actually.
Yeah, I got 3 boys.
Oh yeah.
They're fun. They are a fun journey.
Yes, it's definitely a journey. That is for sure. and you're definitely not leading the journey either.
No.
You're just on the ride.
That dude, I've told so many friends, like, you're training your replacement. They're
Yeah.
next
Yep.
level. Like, what? How did you learn that? Like,
Yeah.
even just like stupid things like tablets. Like, they've taught me how to like use tablets and stuff.
Yeah.
Like technology, and I've always been pretty good at technology, but they got it. I don't know. They're born with it. They're born with it. Even like I said, like next level, like comedy shit. Like, they were still in diapers, and one of them would be like rubbing their dick on the other one. I'm like, yeah, I'm supposed to yell at you, but this is really funny. This is really funny, guys. I can't punish anybody for this because this is comedy gold.
Oh my god.
Just teabagging the other.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they're crazy. They're crazy. They're just like an animal of their own, and that's another thing. Like, I feel like each generation is easier on their kids. So like everything
Oh, yeah.
I would have got yelled at, I'm laughing at. Like, you just see yourself in that.
You're like, I would have got the belt for that, but
But you're getting high five.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Bane, could you
I got my
rap for
ass
us?
kicked for looking at my dad wrong.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Bane, could you rap for us?
Yeah. Do you want me to right now?
Yeah, I'll mute the mics whenever you're ready, man.
Okay. I have this thing. This is what I do because I can't. You mentioned freestyle a minute ago. I can't freestyle at all. But I was going to do what I normally start out with when I play live shows. If that's cool.
That's perfectly
amazing.
fine, man.
Yes.
I'll mute the mics now.
All right.
So whenever you're ready.
All right. Here we go. And if you haven't heard the name, it's Bayn. Show me love when I walk in. Close to D.C., but far from a villain. Grew up in such a way to show these young men the only power tool I will ever need is a pen. Watch me build and knock for the rain. And this I know was crazy, baby, put me in chains. But I still remain. I should start the power team again. Because there's a metal that I can't bend. No brick that I can't break. There's nothing you can put on a bench press that's too much weight. That's why I stand strong when I watch the earthquake. Tell me, can you decipher what's real from fake? Such emphasis. Read into this like a psychologist. But keep your words tucked in your esophagus. It's worth of speaking life like from a prophet's lips. So profit from this. Take grip with tired hands. And on the shakiest ground, just stand. This is the minute that the sparks are flashing in the pan, not finished because the arc is crashing in the sand. Man, tell me to part the sea and I'll be free. But when I start to sink in water knee deep, when I can overthink but I can't speak, tell me what's the point of being free if I can't be me? It's chapter 2, so I just need 2 minutes to turn it and Mr. Freeze as an ice cream do. But turn up the heat, boom, play with the blow, toast you long and it'll turn around and burn you. Let me say what I must and then I'm out the game. Break the door off the hinges and rip out the frame. Denzel was the boss and I'm the one to blame. So this is how it feels to be a circle in a square shape. I've been a lone wolf since the very day of my birth. Didn't need nobody else that just left me the hurt. I'm stepping on everyone's toes when I walk in the dirt. I guess I feel the biggest shoes on earth. And that is it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude,
Oh my God.
That is incredible.
Amazing.
Wow. I was gonna ask too, Bayn, have you ever considered making like theme songs for wrestlers? Because that is another amazing thing. Like, who doesn't think of Stone Cold without thinking of his entrance music or something? Like, have you ever thought of making theme songs?
I have actually. Before there was actually a local wrestler here in town that I actually did do his theme music for him. It was a song called Villain. And he picked out the music for me. That way he could get like the vibe that he wanted, and then he was like just rap over it. So
wow,
yeah,
cool.
I did that for him. And actually, when I do this song, I actually rap it over Samoa Joe's entrance music.
That's
so
awesome.
It's definitely something I've always wanted to do. It's one of those things. It's like it's so hard to get the word out that it's like, hey, I'm doing this, and I'm not the worst at it.
Yeah, that's another thing.
I'm not the best.
Just that, and just the oversaturation that anybody can reach anybody.
And that's the big part of it, man. Is there's so to tell people I'm a rapper is almost halfway embarrassing. I know I talk about it on social media and stuff like that, but really going out and promoting it for me is almost embarrassing just because there are so many that are out there and there are so many that are out there that are horrible.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's like, I tend to just be like, yeah, I do music is what I do.
Oh, man. I was going to ask too, Bayn, of the sodas you drank. You drank the crazy sodas on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Breaking Brain. What has been the grossest?
Oh, man, we just had the grossest for the second time last weekend.
What did Brian say? Brian said it was the ranch dressing. Was the one that he liked, that he thought was the worst?
Ranch dressing. I think ranch dressing is the worst for him, but sweet corn soda is the worst for me. And
that's what I was going to say. I saw you had sweet corn soda. That sounds like the worst. Dude, because on that poll that I saw, there was carrot cake, there was some root beer. I'm like, root beer's got to be good. And there was sweet corn. I'm like, that sounds disgusting.
Yes. Now, we had that about 3 or 4 years back, right when we pretty much were first starting our show. We did a little bit of this, and we tried sweet corn soda, and I almost threw up a few years ago.
I would think from the name of it, yeah.
Celery soda is pretty bad.
It was terrible.
Oh my God!
So the sweet corn soda was the worst you had.
Oh, who makes that?
For me, for sure. And we've had buffalo wing. We've had the ranch dressing.
Yeah.
One of them, which cracked me up was Roddy Piper's piss?
What? I think that would be like a cinnamon. Like
Roddy
a big red.
Piper's piss.
Yeah.
Am I making that up, or was that a thing, Bayn?
Well, there was I think what you're thinking of is we had the Roddy Piper out of bubblegum soda, but in that same poll we had a soda called Pirate Piss.
Oh, okay, so I'm combining.
Okay. Yeah. Right. It'll happen.
Just called it Rowdy Piper's piss.
Get a hold of Roddy Piper and tell him he needs to piss in
I think if
a
you
bottle.
had Roddy Piper's piss, it would be worth $1 million right now.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Put the glasses
Bayn,
on.
so I got a question. You and Brian are like big comic book fans. Have you seen Avengers: Infinity War?
No, I have not. That is one, and I'm not a huge movie goer, like to actually go in the theaters, but that is one that I'm dying to see. So I will probably go to the theaters and see it.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting on the crowd to die down a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's smart.
But
Yeah.
I saw it a
definitely wanna
week.
see it.
I saw it a week after it premiered, and the theater was packed. Like
Still
my cousin was like, "I bought tickets a week ago, and we're in the front row. Everything else was sold out. Like it's
Oh
that
my
bad.
God.
Like yeah, I'm like a week later. Like,
That's wild. I've
But-
heard nothing but good things about that movie.
amazing!
Yeah,
It is lived up to all expectations. Like it was amazing.
Yeah.
And I hated Avengers: Age of Ultron. I thought was shit.
Yeah, that
But
wasn't
this,
their best
thi-
movie.
thi-
This was so
just
much better. Yeah.
fucking amazing.
Yeah, and it just looks so good with everybody that's involved in it. I mean, it's like I almost feel like how can they mess that up when you have all that superstardom in one movie?
Yeah.
Like
But
you
it-
must have to make it just epic.
But it's also like you think back to things like Spider-Man 3. Like they have all these characters. Like are they gonna fucking botch it because they
True.
have all these characters? But they do a good job of
Dude,
juggling
And
everything.
I loved the dynamic between Thor and Rocket.
Spoilers.
Oh wait.
Spoilers.
No, it's not gonna.
I just didn't want to go 20 minutes of just nerd boners.
I'm sorry.
Jerk it off. Jerk it
Oh,
off.
you're good. You're good.
No, this is all I'm gonna add to this.
And then
I
we'll
love
get
the
on with that.
dynamic between Rocket and Thor. That was really good.
Oh, that's got to be good.
Yeah, no, that is cool. Bayn, I did want to ask though, going to comic books, The Undertaker has a comic book?
What?
Yeah, apparently the Undertaker has this is Breaker's thing. I had no idea
That
about
is
this. I found out about
amazing.
this.
Is it Bayn?
Yeah.
Is it Boom Studios has a WWE comic book? I just found that out recently.
Really?
Yeah, because Boom Studios publishes the Power Rangers comic book, and
Yeah.
I'm a huge Power Rangers fan. So yeah, they also published a WWE comic book.
Like, what would happen? Like, I remember in the 80s there was a WWE Saturday morning cartoon, WWF. And it was like,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was pretty lame. It was pretty lame. It wasn't as cool. Yeah, dude, it was bad. It was brutal. But have they redeemed themselves?
So what is this Undertaker
Yeah.
comic book, Bayn?
I don't know if it's even out yet. 'Cause
Oh.
I don't really know much about it, but what I'm hoping for is I'm hoping that it's going to be like almost like a retelling of the origin story of the Undertaker.
From Adam
I love
Oh,
when
man.
he did he crucify Big Boss Man? I want that in comic book form.
He hung him. He hung him in the middle of Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Like,
I want
what the hell? the shit we watched when we were kids.
I was in my mid-20s and it was the best.
Yeah, it was wild back then.
It was, dude. That's when they didn't care. Like, I think the first thing that happened, like, they lost like a Coca-Cola sponsorship, and then they were like, "Yeah, no more bleeding, no more bleeding."
Right,
Oh, my
right.
God.
Yeah. What is that too? Like, yeah, what happened? I guess it should have been there, like no bleeding in a match, like with sexually transmitted things. But yeah, no, like.
Yeah.
Once I heard, I think it was Chris Jericho in an interview, and he said they get fined like $30,000 if they bleed in a match, and whoever is like in charge of that match, like if Vince is on vacation, and Chris Jericho is heading up the entire, WWE event, he gets fined $100,000.
Wow.
Just because that guy bled in a ring. Like, he had no control over it. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy the way.
That's wild. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. I heard that like years ago on Opie and Anthony.
Oh,
It was-
wow. Shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Bane, before we wrap this up, I have a few questions. Like, I found you guys through Brian Breaker. I found because I was like obsessed with Super Nintendo for like a week because I got a Super Nintendo Classic. I was like, what are good Super Nintendo podcasts to listen to? And I found this list, and one of them was like Brian Breaker versus Super Nintendo, and I'm like, that sounds like a fucking cool podcast. So I listened to that. I love that. I told Rob, I was like, hey, here's this guy, Brian Breaker. He sounds awesome. Rob's like, dude, that sounds fucking amazing.
It did.
Let's book him. So we booked him, and like, I like Brian a lot, but I felt like he didn't like us. Like, I almost, like, I don't know if he's nervous or not when he talks, but I was like,
I
was
think he liked me, but he hated Slim.
He probably hated
That's what I tell Slim.
because I started asking him questions about like the scandals and stuff with WWE, which is probably bad questions to ask. But like, did Brian like us?
Tell me.
Yeah, he doesn't like anybody, bro. he doesn't even
just
like me.
hates everybody.
I don't
hate
even
me.
like you, bro.
No, I'm just kidding. No, he liked you guys. He was actually telling me, he's like, yeah, you'll have fun with this, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So he's an odd guy. Once he gets used to you guys, he totally like he kind of lets his hair down because he has long enough hair to do that.
I don't know, because we've been doing this. I had told Rob that like you and I have been podcasting as long as Brian and Bayn. Like, we started in 2014, which I think was the same year you guys started. You're a little bit ahead of us because like we had another show that we started at before we rebranded ourselves, and then like we take 2 months off during the summer, so I don't think you guys do that. So you're like maybe like 50 episodes ahead of us, but
Oh, okay, I got you.
Nice.
Well, that's cool, man.
Bayn, where can everybody find you?
They can find me at I try to keep it simple on Twitter and Instagram both. It is Big_Bayn, and that is BAYN. Is how you spell Bayn. And then on Facebook, it is just Facebook.com/BigBayn.
Cool, dude. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Yeah, no problem.
Have a good one, dude.
Hey, y'all too.
Later, man.
All right.
have a good one, Bayn.
Later. You